Well, after a really strong start to the week, there were a lot of hopes for the bulls, especially that we will once and for all finally move back above the mark of 9,000. But that is not at today, because after the fact that we saw the Nifty move back about 8,850, well, we're still struggling to actually reach the 9,000 level, as indicated by a lot of accumulation towards the 9,000 calls. So on the whole, it really hasn't been such a great day, especially not for the bulls, and that's quite evident in the kind of moves that we've seen on the intraday chart as well.
That's correct, Agam. It was a relatively stronger start to the day. Nifty opened about 0.2% higher, but eventually continued to see pressure and traded below 89.50 for most of the session on account of lack of cues. The fact that Reliance Industries also cooled off after its 3-day rally wasn't really helping. On the other hand, you had Sensex, which ended just below that mark of 29,000, but overall the market breadth was or has turned negative today, and resistance is building up at the 9,000 level. That's what the futures market also throwing up.
Absolutely. So we have seen further accumulation in the 9,000 call. It's this is becoming a little bit of a trend now. Every time it's the market's moving up or moving down, we are looking at more accumulation there. So let's take a look at what's happened in the options market. Of course, it is the 9,000 call, but it is also the 9,100 and the 9,200 calls, which have seen some amount of build up in open interest. On the downside, which is the 8,600 put, which is taken over with respect to what's happened today. But when it comes to maximum open interest, which indicates a broad range for the Nifty, that continues to remain with the 8,800 put and the 9,000 call. On the whole, nothing much has changed, Shraddha, considering the fact we've only lost about 16 points on the Nifty, and not too much change in open interest either.
All right. So if you look at the Nifty movers, not surprising to see names like Adani Ports and SEZ, ONGC and BPCL, which were leading gainers. There was a mixed reaction as far as IT stocks are concerned after the Indian Information Technology Minister said that Indian IT firms added value to US economy and helped to create jobs, while TCS and Wipro managed to end the green territory. Infosys lost nearly 1.5%. It was the metal stocks which were dragging the Nifty lower after lower base metal prices in Shanghai. In fact, the Nifty metal index dropped most in a month. So you saw Hindalco and Tata Steel profit booking coming into those two counters. Lupin also dropped nearly 1.5% after its CFO told Bloomberg that the Gupta family was open to equity dilution for any large deals. However, the sweet spot remains deals in the size of 200 to 300 million dollar range. But that apart, media stocks, but the entire media pack was doing well. You talk about Dish TV, Den Networks, Eros International.
It was, but once again, what's really changed from yesterday is the market breadth, which has once again turned negative. So we had about 2 gainers for 3 losers. I'm going to take you through the losers first. We have weakness in Reliance Communication, which actually tops the list when it comes to the Nifty 500 with respect to losers. It's declined by as much as 3.7%. We have weakness in Hindustan Zinc, JP Infra as well as JK Tires, and along with that we have some weakness in Alchem Laboratories. Now all these stocks have lost anywhere between 3 to 3.5%. With respect to gainers, and there has been quite some momentum when it comes to some of these stocks which have moved up. Inox Leisure has gained nearly 13%. Brigade Enterprises up 12%. Delta Corp has made quite some strides over the past few sessions as well, now at 170, up 10% today as well. You have gains in Future Consumer and Future Lifestyle, followed by Just Style and Eros International also gaining as much as 8.5 to 9%. So overall, it really hasn't been a terrible day for the mid caps, and if you do not go by the kind of market breadth we are looking at. But MBL, we are looking at a good subscription, is encouraging subscription number there.
Absolutely, Agam. On day 2 at 3 o'clock, the IPO has been fully subscribed. In fact, 1.37 times as of 3 p.m. But that has been purely led by the retail category, which was subscribed about 2.5 times. The subscription in the QIP and the HNI category has been absolutely minuscule. But Agam, one more stock that really stands out today, or the maximum movement that was seen in the stock during the day, was Bharat Financial Inclusion, where the shares dropped to near 1 month low today. So this is today's chart. If you see the opening, you can see that steep fall in the stock price, but very soon it reversed the direction to end in green as brokerages retained their rating on the stock. Just yesterday in a conference call with analysts, the company had said that its portfolio overdue for more than 8 weeks had risen to 4.5% versus 0.2% that was reported in Q3. However, they did revise their gross loan portfolio guidance for FY17 marginally upwards from about 8,500 crores to 9,000 crores. So the stock fell as much as 6% during the day in early trades, only to end with a gain of about 2%. But with that, we end today's session. Thank you so much for watching Bloomberg Quint. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow.